Welcome back, WWE Insider. Tonight, we rip the curtain off the squared circle to expose a raw, gut-wrenching saga that's tearing through the heart of the WWE Universe. Dominik Mysterio, the prodigal son of wrestling royalty, stands at the center of a storm that's not just a storyline, it's a real-life heartbreak that's left his world in shambles. His wife has filed for divorce, and the shockwaves are rippling through locker rooms, family ties, and the very soul of professional wrestling. This isn't about suplexes or scripted promos, this is about betrayal, grief, and a man caught in the crossfire of his own ambition. The air backstage at SmackDown is thick with tension, the kind that clings to your skin like sweat. Dominik paces near the gorilla position, his eyes bloodshot, not from a match but from sleepless nights. Whispers follow him, crew members, referees, even his fellow superstars steal glances. They know. The news broke this morning. His wife, Maria, filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences tied to his on-screen romance with Liv Morgan. What was meant to be a sizzling WWE angle, a forbidden love story to boost ratings, has spiraled into a scandal that's fractured a real marriage. Dominik's phone buzzes relentlessly, but he doesn't look. Each unanswered call is a dagger, a reminder of the life he's losing. Please like, share, and subscribe for more WWE content. Your support keeps us diving deep into the stories that matter, the ones that cut deeper than any steel chair shot. Maria's face haunts Dominik's every step. They met when he was just a kid, barely out of Rey Mysterio's shadow, sneaking into indie shows to prove himself. She was his anchor, the one who believed in him when the world saw only Rey's son. Now, she's gone, her lawyers let her cold and final. The WWE creative team pushed the Liv Morgan angle hard, late night, strategy sessions, suggestive promos, and staged moments that blurred the line between fiction and reality. Dominik went along, chasing the spotlight, but every smirk he shared with Liv on camera drove a wedge into his marriage. Maria watched from home, her trust eroding with every televised betrayal. In the locker room, the mood is a funeral. Rey Mysterio sits in a corner, his mask off, his face etched with grief. He's not just a legend, he's a father watching his son's life unravel. Rey tried to warn Dominik, his voice trembling in a late-night phone call. "Mijo, this business eats families. Don't let it take yours." But Dominik, headstrong and hungry for his own legacy, brushed it off. Now, Rey's silence speaks louder than any promo. The other superstars keep their distance, not out of cruelty but because they've all seen this before, the road, the fame, the choices that break what matters most. The health crisis lurking in the background only deepens the tragedy. Maria had been battling anxiety, exacerbated by the relentless pace of Dominik's career. The late-night flights, the constant media scrutiny, the fans chanting for Liv, it was too much. Sources close to the couple say Maria begged Dominik to pull back, to prioritize their life together. But the WWE machine doesn't stop. A top star like Dominik, on the cusp of main event status, can't just say no. The pressure to perform, to deliver, to be Dirty Dom, suffocated their marriage until it collapsed under the weight. Backstage, the tension is palpable. Liv Morgan, the unwitting catalyst, is caught in her own storm. She's a professional, but the fans' adoration and the storyline's heat have blurred her own boundaries. She didn't mean for this to happen, her chemistry with Dominik was supposed to be kayfabe, nothing more. But late-night rehearsals and shared ambitions created a bond that felt too real. Now, she's vilified online, labeled a homewrecker by fans who don't know the half of it. Liv sits alone in catering, staring at her coffee, her hands shaking as she scrolls through hate messages on her phone. The scandal has fractured alliances. The Judgment Day, Dominik's on-screen faction, is splintering under the weight of real-life resentment. Finn Balor, once a mentor, now barely speaks to him, his loyalty torn between friendship and disgust at the chaos Dominik's choices have unleashed. Damian Priest, the group's stoic leader, tries to mediate, but even he can't hide his frustration. "You don't get it, Dom," he snapped during a heated exchange caught on a crew member's phone. "This isn't just your story, it's all of us." The faction's unity, once their strength, is crumbling, and the locker room feels the aftershocks. Death casts a long shadow over this saga, not in the literal sense but in the death of trust, of promises, of the life Dominik and Maria built. Their wedding vows, spoken in a small San Diego church 5 years ago, now feel like a distant memory. Maria's tearful voice messages, leaked by a cruel twist of fate, reveal her pain. You chose her, Dom. You chose the fame. Each word is a wound, and Dominik carries them like a weight he can't shake. He sees her in every empty hotel room, every quiet moment between matches, her absence a ghost that haunts him. Family breakdowns are nothing new in wrestling, but this one cuts deeper. Ray and Angie, Dominik's mother, are devastated, torn between supporting their son and mourning the daughter-in-law they loved. Angie, who once welcomed Maria into their home with open arms, now struggles to look Dominik in the eye. At a recent family gathering, the tension was unbearable. Ray's stoic silence, Angie's forced smiles, and Dominik's desperate attempts to explain himself falling flat. The Mysterio legacy, once a beacon of pride, now feels like a curse. The fans, too, are divided. Social media is a war zone, with #JusticeForMaria trending alongside vicious attacks on Liv. Some defend Dominik, arguing he's just playing the role WWE gave him, but others see a man who let ambition destroy his soul. At live events, the boos are louder, more personal, cutting through the kayfabe. Dominik, once the cocky heel thriving on heat, now flinches at the venom in the crowd's chants. He's not just a villain in the ring, he's become one in real life, and the weight of that reality is crushing him. Backstage, Triple H and the creative team are scrambling. The angle with Liv was supposed to be a ratings juggernaut, but now it's a PR nightmare. Meetings stretch late into the night, with executives debating whether to pull the storyline or lean into the controversy. This is wrestling, one producer argues, drama sells. But at what cost? The talent roster is uneasy, with veterans like Randy Orton quietly advising younger stars to keep your personal life sacred. The machine keeps turning, but the human toll is impossible to ignore. Dominik's inner circle is shrinking. His childhood friend, a non-wrestler who's been with him since high school, is one of the few still taking his calls. In a tearful conversation overheard by a stagehand, Dominik admitted, "I didn't think it would go this far. I thought I could handle it." His voice cracked, betraying the bravado he wears in the ring. The friend urged him to step away, to fix things with Maria, but Dominik's trapped, by contracts, by expectations, by the persona he's built. Maria, meanwhile, is rebuilding. Sources say she's moved back to her hometown, surrounded by family, trying to piece together a life without Dominik. She's not speaking publicly, but her silence is louder than any promo. Friends say she's focusing on her mental health, attending therapy to process the betrayal she feels. The wrestling world, once her home, now feels like a battlefield, and she's done fighting. Her absence at WWE events, where she used to cheer from the front row, is a stark reminder of what's been lost. The ripple effects reach beyond the Mysterio family. Other superstars are reevaluating their own lives, their own choices. One anonymous wrestler confided to a reporter, "Seeing Dom's life fall apart makes you think, what am I sacrificing for this?" The locker room, usually a place of camaraderie, feels like a pressure cooker, with everyone on edge. Trust is fragile, and the line between storyline and reality has never been blurrier. As WrestleMania looms, the question hangs heavy, can Dominik redeem himself? In the ring, he's still the arrogant heel, but backstage, he's a man unraveling. Some say he's planning to address the scandal in a raw, unscripted promo, a risky move that could either humanize him or bury him further. Others whisper he might take time off, a decision that could cost him his spot at the top. The WWE Universe waits, breathless, for the next chapter, but for Dominik, it's not about titles or storylines, it's about salvaging what's left of his soul. The fans' reactions are a mirror to the chaos. At a recent house show, a sign in the crowd read, "Dom, go home to Maria." It was a plea, not a taunt, and it broke something in Dominik.